So we made it happen. I'm excited to see you, brother.
It's a pleasure. Finally, I mean, we've ran in so many similar circles for so many years,
Well,
and
we
it's
ran
like,
into each other at the Canelo fight.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, God, I've been seeing you for 20 years.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you were always the hero of the Ice House. We'd go down to the Ice House. Well, how does he sell out so many shows? Gabriel's doing like a 2 PM show, a 4 p.m. show. How many shows did you do in a day at one point in time?
The most I ever did in one day, like full sets, not just like
Yeah.
a 10-minute spot. 4 shows, four full 1-hour shows. But yeah, we were doing matinee shows at the Ice House.
It's wild. It was wild. Like, we'd go down there and see the signs and all the. It was like, this is crazy.
You know, because I was doing, they were calling them kid shows because I was allowing all ages. Bob Fisher was bending the rules to let me have.
That's great. Because your act is perfect for that.
But I mean, I tailored it. I tailored it. So
Sure.
of course, you take out cuss words in certain topics, but for
Right.
the most part, it was a friendly show. So the
Yeah.
set that usually you would hear at 2:00 probably isn't the set you'd hear at the 10:30 show.
Yeah. So you go from that to doing Dodger Stadium.
Well, there was a couple shows in between.
I know. What is that? That had to be a trip.
You know what? I thought that I was gonna be super nervous doing that show, but it was probably one of the most calm experiences for me as far as like not feeling pressure because it felt more like a celebration versus me having to perform. Like all these people are already here because they know what I've done over the years.
Right.
And it's not like, oh, I gotta make sure I hope I have a good set.
Right.
I forget how many people total, but there were so many people there that all they want is for you to do good.
Right.
They want to see you succeed.
Look at
They want this to go well for you.
Bro, that's so crazy.
And to feel that energy of people wanting you to succeed, wanting you to do good.
Wow.
People that were there for the ride back at the Ice House, 20 some odd years ago.
Look at all those
And
people.
so, yeah.
That is insane. That's insane.
It was a beautiful moment. I was choked up in the first 30 seconds walking out there because they just kept cheering like and then I said, "We did it." And it was over after that. So it was a big emotional, show for me. On Netflix, it was an hour and almost 2 hours, but the actual night I was on stage for over 3.
Wow.
And they could not get me off that stage because then I broke out a bottle of tequila, and then I turned it into a big quinceañera is what I did at the end, and I got fined by Dodger Stadium for going over the time.
That's
If you run
hilarious.
the light at the club, it's all right. Come on, maybe you mess up.
How much
the-
did they fine
so-
you? Well, you don't have to say.
It was over 100.
Oh, Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
Dodger Stadium. Come on, guys. Is that like operating costs? Like, what is that?
Well, you got to figure all the costs that go into the
Right.
the union, the
Mhm.
staff. I mean, there's
Yeah.
so many people that work
Had to be
there.
worth it, though.
Yes.
Had to be worth it.
I'd do it all over again. It was the greatest night of my life, and so happy to pay the fine.
That's amazing. That's when I saw Bill Burr do Fenway Park. A similar sort of situation. Like, holy
Yeah,
shit.
and to do it in
man.
your hometown,
Yeah,
that's the best
exactly.
part.
Well-
I think it's always harder to get love at home.
Mm.
That's why you go out on the road and you do your thing. And I think that getting that love at home, like I never got to perform at a comedy club at home until I became successful on the road.
Mm.
I didn't get the Laugh Factories or the Comedy Stores or the Improvs until I
What?
went out and did.
That doesn't make sense, though. Why would that be? Were you hanging around?
You got to figure 20 some odd years ago, maybe they had a Latino night. You had to really know somebody. Somebody had to really vouch for you, or you just. It was weird. Most of my shows were at bars.
So what year did you start?
I started in 97.
97. So most of those years you're hopping around doing bars, doing
One-nighters and stuff like that. Oh, so-and-so has a room. So-and-so has a room. Blah, blah,
Joey
blah.
Diaz took me to a lot of those places. He would take you to some Chinese restaurant in the middle of nowhere. It's run by Mexican people. It was amazing. Dingy bar shows. There's something about those shows that teach it a little extra, a different
It's
muscle.
humbling.
Yeah.
But the cool part is that I was used to performing in places like that before I actually got an audience that was willing to just be quiet and listen.
Yes.
So I felt like, oh, wow, that was hard, because you have to come out the gate swinging to
Mm-hmm.
get people in a bar, people that are focused on the game, focused on trying to hook up, having a
Yeah.
drink, trying to wait, waiting for somebody. There's all kinds of different things happening. And so the fact that, to be able to go out there and get their attention,
Yeah.
that was like it was school.
Yeah,
It was
is
school.
cool. It is cool. It's a school that no one is going to give you a lesson plan. You got to kind of do it all yourself, and you got to learn from the other people that are doing it, like Joey. But it's like I did the same thing in Boston. Mostly we got road gigs because those are the ones that they would pay you to drive for 2 hours and do some 40 minutes in front of a bunch of crazy people.
And you were excited to do it.
Oh my God, yeah, it was amazing. Just the fact that you were making money doing comedy was amazing, and you're learning how to do it. You're learning how to do it the hard way, in restaurants and bars and pubs and just weird little outdoor venues. And
there was no social media back then, no YouTube, no TikTok
nothing.
video clips, no nothing that you
No.
could post. You just had to go out and.
But honestly, that's great because that gave you this chance to, first of all, know you really wanted it. Because if you were really going to grind it out every night, going to all these weird, shitty places for no money for years you're not making any money. Like, you got to be committed to that. Because a lot of people, they got one foot in, 1 foot out. They have one good set, and they're like, maybe I'll give comedy a try. But guys like you and guys like me, we're out there every night. Every night.
I knew that with time, money would come as long as I stuck it out. I was in a very cush position when I started doing stand up. So it was a little, challenging to say goodbye to security. I had a great gig selling cell phones. I was making about $5K a month, and in 1997, working in sales, making that, I'd never had insurance. I had, a nice little PPO plan.
Couldn't you work there during the day?
I did.
For how long?
I did. I lasted about a year because I found out that I couldn't just do my job and then go do shows at night and then go home. You couldn't go home. You had to stay out. We had to wind up at a Denny's. You had to wind up at some freaking taco shop or whatever at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, talking to other comics because that was the only other way you were going to find out about another show. Yeah. You couldn't send a tweet. You couldn't send a text because you didn't have that as an option. You had to talk to people